Councillors. Thank you very much for attending today this ordinary council meeting. Today is the 15th of December 2021. I would like to welcome everybody. Just want to make sure is that the attendance register circulating. Thank you very much. Councillor Nell.
Mr. Speaker, just for the sake of clarity, I just spoke to Councillor Kamkam. She is coming from the Crag. She's experiencing transport problems. She will be a couple of minutes late.
Thank you. She did indicate to me as well, of which I was going to communicate. She did indicate. Thank you very much for that. Yes, Councillor Kamkam did indicate she's got a transport issue. She is on the way. It's just that part of the area, there's a hold up. Thank you very much. Then I would like us to open our day just with a silent prayer out of respect for the different cultures. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, councillors. Is there any director, any person connected virtually? Just make sure if someone is connected virtually.
Good morning, sir. Yes, I am.
Everyone is in council. Thank you. We thanks, Ms. Wilderman.
So you don't want fresh air at this time where COVID is
Okay.
rising, Omicron. You want that to be closed. How dare.
Now the windows is open, councillors. Councillors.
Let that be open.
Just make sure how many windows is open.
The blind is obstructing the air that is coming inside. So also that blind must be closed. You want
Councillors,
to clear?
let's just make sure we do comply.
No, we must comply with the regulations, man. We can't. You can't stay here. There's light here.
In terms of the light, I think the side is, but there is windows open. Just want to make sure how many. Just make sure if there's enough windows open.
Let's comply with the regulations.
Councillor, I am
Please.
anticipating to that. Is all the screens clear before we continue? If it's possible, can we get that blind open then if it's not a problem for that screen and keep the window open on that side? Yeah, there is a window open. It's just a blind for the
You
screen.
don't want this blind to be open.
If the screen is not clear to all councillors, we need to adjust to ensure that all councillors can see on the screen.
No, you have to.
Thank you very much. We will now continue with the order of business. Attendance is done. We move on to point 3, application for leave of absence, where we have received no application for leave of absence. Point 4, declaration of interest, disclosure of interest by councillors. Councillors, would you like to declare perhaps any items on the agenda for the business purpose sake that would might? Believe none. Thank you. We then move on to point 5, confirmation of minutes for previous meetings, including special open. 5.1, minutes is on screen. Starting from page 7, minutes of the inaugural meeting of the Municipal Council of Bitou Local Municipality, held in the Council Chamber, Municipal Officer, Sewell Street, Plettenberg Bay, on Thursday, 18 November 2021 at 9. The minutes is on screen, councillors. Make sure if there's a true reflection. Councillor Olivier?
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, are you going to just go through the minutes or should I indicate the places where corrections are needed? Because I've got my pages down.
Can you then Just hold on, Councillor Kabai, I'll be with you now. Ms. Wilderman, can you just take us through the minutes, please? Councillor Kabai?
Speaker, I suggest that because these minutes are in numbers, for example, I'll say number 7, it's 1, it's a page. Going to another one, then therefore Councillor Olivier will be able to say, I've got a problem or I want to correct a particular minute on page so and so. I would like us
Appreciate
to do it
it,
that way. It will be easy that way. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciated Councillor Kabai. Continue, Ms. Wilderman.
Minutes of the inaugural meeting of council dated 18 November 2021. We're starting on page 7 of the agenda, page 8, page 9, page 10, page 11, page 12, page 13, page 14, page 15, page 16, page 17, page 18, page 19, page 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, last page 26, and then the attendance registers up to page 30. Page 29, sorry.
Councillor Kabai.
Go with the recommendation.
Seconded.
Minutes is therefore confirmed, proposed by Councillor Kabai, seconded by Councillor Mhlana.
We're moving to the minutes of the ordinary council meeting dated Tuesday, 30 November 2021, starting at page 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, last page 64, then the attendance registers up to page 67.
Councillor Wolofir.
Thank you, Speaker. On page 44, my initials are wrong. On page 51, my initials are wrong. It's supposed to be AR, not AN, on page 61 and 63.
Thank you, Councillor Wolofir.
Thank you, Speaker, and with that, I go with the recommendation.
Thank you. There's a proposal by Councillor
Second,
Wolofir,
Speaker.
seconded by Councillor Nyal.
Sorry. On page 53, resolution 1, that the installation of the water management devices be carried out in all new houses projects, including the Bolwen housing development, albeit in the open. And I think we have went into discussion around this issue. I don't know what was really the resolution, but I think there was a change on this particular sentence. So I don't know. Yeah. Because I think we said that there must be a public participation. I see number 2 is there, that public participation process must start from afresh. Then I don't know whether we should remove number 1. You can assist me with other colleagues.
Just make sure, that's all. Mr. Rode?
Thank you, Speaker. Look, 1 is of no consequence because the meter is in open mode. So open mode means it's a normal meter, it's not in prepaid mode, so there's no effect on the community. After we've done the participation, we will then start implementing the prepayment mode. So 1 can go ahead. And in fact, we're going ahead with the Koweni one already, the Koweni project.
Speaker,
Thank
sorry.
you. We
Just for info clarity again, are these devices installed in KwaNokutula or are they going to start in Kolweni?
No, there is a roadmap where they're going to start, but it's not installed yet.
Councillors, can we just, we are on the minutes. If there's any clarity you seek, we can address it. So we are just, if it seems like as if it's not a true reflection of the minutes, we can address such as your right. We will address it with the director around this. CFO?
What the resolution is saying that we're going to install the meters, water meters, when we have conventional mode for now. There will be no restriction, there will be no prohibition up until the public participation is to be done. That's the meter that we intend to go forward to install in the future.
Councillor Mhlana, are you? Thank you very much. So, Councillor Kapai?
Then therefore, those minutes must be returned like that. They must not be returned that. Or they must not be left in the manner they are in there. Because we will talk and yet the minutes will be there. Whoever comes will say, this is recorded.
Thank you, Councillor Kapai. Kapai, thank you. Minutes to be corrected. Okay. So that we correct this section of the minutes.
Section C5 to 1121, sir. That particular item.
Thank you, Ms. Volderman. We will then.
Speaker, how is it going to be corrected then? Because it must be corrected now. It must be. We must correct the minutes now. We cannot wait.
Thank you. MM?
They are minutes of the council.
Councillor, can I maybe make a suggestion to you that you approve the minutes with the exception of this one, and this item comes back to the next council meeting for confirmation only once it's corrected. So you approve all the minutes for the 30th with the exception of this item. They correct the minutes, and this item comes back to the next council for confirmation. Just in terms of process, so that allows it to be corrected.
It was a genuine council who agreed.
Yes.
But we don't trust that they will be corrected.
So then
reasons for that.
So then this item comes back to the next council meeting for confirmation.
So that
Yeah, you can. Sonia?
Ms. Wilderman?
Sorry, Mr. Speaker, the minute was, I've captured and went into it. It is as it was approved. There was, the item here in terms of my previous note says it was recommended and approved as is. The Mayor still indicated to Councillor Mshana that he concurs that the public participation process will be executed first in terms of the second resolution.
I'm just screening the previous item as it was in the council agenda, and you went with the recommendations. It's on the screen. That's why it's reflecting like that in the minutes.
No, it was not as approved as it was. We had a debate here. I remember he spoke, Executive Mayor spoke on that issue, but it should not be number one.
Executive Mayor?
Thank you, Speaker. As the MM said, then let's approve the minutes except for this item. This item, I think then the administration must please just check the recordings and update anything that's necessary. And then this item comes back to council in the minute form for us to approve the minutes at the next council meeting on this item.
Yeah, I think for progress purposes, let's do that.
Thank you, Councillor. Then we had a Councillor Olivier propose that we move on. Can we have a second on that set of minutes? Councillor Nyal, thank you. Ms. Wilderman? Next. Are we done with the minutes?
We're done with the minutes, sir. We're moving to point number 6 of the order of business, statements and communication by the Executive Mayor, 6.1 first.
Thank you. Executive Mayor?
Thank you, Speaker. Okay, we recently had some complaints from consumers regarding the drip system that's been in place for water. And bearing in mind the resurgence of the COVID-19 infections and the need to sanitize by washing of hands on a regular basis, the implementation of the drip system will be discontinued until the 28th of February next year. And then a decision will be made based on the COVID regulations in place at the time. There's also concerns raised on the 2nd of December regarding the blockage of prepaid electricity purchases for residents that had defaulted on their municipal accounts. When querying this with the CFO, I was informed that an amnesty had previously been granted in October of this year for account holders to make arrangements to pay off their overdues. And apparently not many people took up the offer, and it may have been a result that information didn't get to everyone, or that there wasn't proper communication that went out. So it was agreed then through the MM and the CFO that the blocking of electricity for prepaid electricity purchases will be suspended until the end of January next year. And in the meantime, we need to have a community participation process that will be undertaken in the new year to explain to the communities why we need to pay our accounts and why the blocking takes place in order to get the accounts up to date. So while these two measures have been put in place to assist low-income households, residents also need to remember that it's the payment of services that raises income for the municipality to continue providing those services. So the extended non-payment of municipal accounts will eventually result in the municipality not being able to afford to provide the basic services. So residents are encouraged to still make payment arrangements for any of the outstanding debts, and we'll also proceed to have an indigent registration drive to make sure that all the people that qualify as indigent status get brought into the system. In the new year, Council will need to consider the cost of the services provided, especially to lower income households, with a view to making the services affordable to all communities in Bitou. And then in the last council meeting, I didn't announce my mayoral committee. I did announce it to council in the in-committee meeting, but just for the public, the mayoral committee will consist of myself, the Deputy Mayor, Councillor Bisakwe, Councillor Nell, and Councillor Kamkam. And we're now at the end of a sort of a hectic and tumultuous 2021, and we've witnessed the cancellation of the matric grade for the second year in a row. Many of the students were already in Plet and kept a lot of the restaurants in town and as well as the clubs very busy. So
Mr. Mayor, just hold on. Councillors, can we, the Executive Mayor is busy. Can we please have order and respect the Executive Mayor who is addressing the floor? Thank you. Continue, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Speaker. So regarding the matric rage and the businesses in town, I just want to say a thank you to all the people that stepped up to try and help control the students in this period as well, and to also thank them for managing to keep COVID protocols in place under very trying circumstances. At the moment, many of the holiday makers have already arrived in Plet, more expected after the beginning of what we recognize as the start of the holiday period, which is the 16th of December tomorrow. And the 16th of December is also the traditional switching on of the lights in Main Street, and this will happen between 6 and 9 o'clock tomorrow. The switching on of the lights will be preceded from 6:30 by a parade of volunteers from Bitou Municipality, from the polo participants, and the switching on of the lights will happen at around 8 o'clock when it's dark enough. People must please remember at all times when in public to maintain the COVID protocols, wearing of masks, sanitizing and distancing to reduce the spread of the current infectious Omicron version of the virus. Also want to thank the Bitou public in advance for making our visitors welcome this holiday season. I think everyone needs a break after the regulations that were in place last year and the busy year that we've had. And then a special thanks is also necessary to the staff of Bitou Municipality for all their efforts during this year. For those that will be on holiday, they must enjoy their period of rest. It's well deserved. And for the staff that will be working during the holiday period, thank you for electing to keep the wheels turning while everyone around you is on holiday. And I'm sure I speak for all the newly elected councillors in saying that the efforts of the staff at Bitou Municipality are greatly appreciated. And then to the councillors, to enjoy the recess, come back well rested in 2022, because we're going to have a busy year ahead of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Executive Mayor, for that. 6 to 6.2. I have received the resignation by Councillor W.J. Nell as Council Whip. Allow me to thank you for the confidence in appointing me as a member of your mayoral committee. My appointment as mayoral committee member, in addition to my election as council whip, however, creates a conflict which forces me to resign as a whip. I hope to serve your office with commitment and dedication. Yours sincerely, Councillor W.J. Nell, received on the 13th of December 2021. Resignation has been accepted and received. Thank you. Then also, just to express also my concern over the latest around COVID-19, I would like the broader Plettenberg Bay to take care while out in public, as we've seen all over newspapers, TV. It has become the everyday talk in our lives nowadays at this stage, where normally under normal circumstances we enjoy festive, we visit family, in and out. But this time around, things is holding us back from being our normal selves. So Plettenberg Bay, while out there, please be very careful. Let's continue to wear our masks, sanitize regularly, keep a distance of 1.5 in the shopping malls, centers, wherever we are. Please, let's practice the safe measures of COVID-19, and then to return on 2022 with less deaths and sickness, etc. Thank you. Also for our councillors who have been elected here, thank you for being healthy. Thank you for staying safe. To the directors, to all Bitou municipal staff out there listening, thank you. We pray and believe that all of us will be safe over this festive period to come back and conduct business for the better of our communities. It is our duty to ensure a safer and a greater Plettenberg Bay as newly elected. So thank you very much, councillors. Stay safe. And from that, that's my statement under the speaker. Thank you very much. We will then move on to presentations. Point 7, none. Point 8, items for information which has been dealt with by the Executive Mayor in terms of delegated authority. We have no items for information. We move on to point 9, noting of outstanding and partially implemented council resolutions. There has been circulated with.
The information starts on page 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, and page 78.
Thank you.
Speaker, I propose that we go with the recommendation and that we take note of the outstanding items.
Speaker, sorry, man. I needed a clarity on page 76, formalizing the relationship between the Department of Correctional Services and Bitou Local Municipality by signing a memorandum of agreement. I needed a clarity on that, if there is anyone who has a clarity on the issue.
Page 76. Yeah. It's this one. No, got it. Do you have any clarity there, ma'am?
No. Unfortunately, I don't have. I can get clarity and come back to the councillors, and I'll check with legal advisor. Mr. Ludica?
Mr. Speaker, if I remember correctly, this is a memorandum of understanding that was signed virtually a year ago already. It's just an agreement between the Department of Correctional Services and the municipality. I think it just has not been taken off the outstanding resolutions. What we can do is to find the memorandum again and circulate it separately to the councillors so that everybody is aware of what was signed at the time. But it happened about a year ago already.
Executive Mayor?
Thank you, Speaker. One of the things I was intending doing in the next 2 weeks is to go through this in detail, because I'm sure there's a number of items on here that should be removed and should be closed off, and Mr. Herrick has just highlighted that. So I'd like to propose that this whole report is checked and made sure that what is on here is matters that are still outstanding, and matters that have been dealt with be removed from this report that we get each month. Thank you, Speaker.
Councillor Mhlala, has clarity been received? I would just like to ask first, are you...
Yeah, yes, the clarity, I've got the clarity, because the MM says he is going to report back. Yeah, because I don't know, I wanted to know what is the MOU for. That's what I wanted to know.
Thank you. Councillor, do you want to continue? So your hand was up and you dropped it. That's fine. Then we have a proposal from Councillor Nel. Councillor Ndai. Seconded by Councillor Ndai. Thank you. So that has been dealt with. Point 9. We will now move on to point 10. Consideration of reports, non-delegated matters. We have a list. We then go to portfolio of index.
We're starting with section 1, Office of the Municipal Manager. Item C/1/18/12/21, Establishment of Municipal Public Accounts Committee between brackets impact and appointment of the impact chairperson. Page 83 to 86.
Page 83 to page 86. Item now serving. Executive Mayor.
Thank you, Speaker. I'd like to propose as members of Impact, Councillor Bitou, Councillor Koweki, and Councillor Ndai, with Councillor Koweki being appointed as the chairperson. Thank you.
Just didn't hear you right. Can we just, you propose that, because I think, let me just make, it's Councillor Kolwapi. Yes. Okay. There's a proposer.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Councillor Tapai. Thank you. Thank you very much, councillors. Thank you.
We're moving to section 2, Finance. First item is item C/2/14/12/21. Report on the implementation of the supply chain management policy for the fourth quarter, period 1 April to 30 June 2021, from page 88 to page 132.
It's page 88 to 132. Item now serving.
Thank you, Speaker. I propose that we go with it, take note and go with the recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor Nel. There's a proposer. Executive Mayor.
Thank you, Speaker. I just want to raise concerns about the percentage of contracts that are awarded to local contractors, and that we, as far as possible, need to try and ensure that more of our local businesses benefit from the work that's available at the municipality.
I just want to make sure, Councillor Kolwapi, is your hand up?
Yeah, yes.
Sorry, just hold on. Is it dark there around you?
Yes, I don't see nicely.
Can we just get an extra light for the councillor too, because she's using a torch now? Just hold on. Just we want to make extra light there for you, councillor. No, it can't be that far, councillor. Just hold on. Is it clear?
Let me.
Okay, Councillor Kolapi, let's continue.
I've noticed in these items that are of this tender awarded, there are 3 items that are marked the same way. Can I have a clarity from project manager, Mr. Harik? If you see the panel of transaction advisory to provide advisory services relating to development projects, including but not limited, when I look at them, they state the same work. So can I have a clarity when it comes to that, this panel of transactions that are of the same, but when you look at them, they've got different amounts of money. So is there anything that I need to have an explanation on that?
I think we're talking about page 90.
Yeah, page 90.
Item
Yes,
3.
Item 3, all of them.
Yes.
Can I have an explanation on that?
Mr. Gericke? page 90. It is
Mr. Speaker, I'm just trying to get to the page. Just give me one moment. Or if admin
page
can put it on.
90. It's on screen. SEM 22130 mm. Just a little bit up. That's just that. Yes, yes. Just.
Mr. Speaker, what happened here is the council and the municipality went out on tender for a panel of transaction advisors to assist the municipality with special projects. Let's say something like the airport, and we want to do a call for proposals for the airport, which is a specialized project that we do not have the expertise for. That is the purpose of the panel of transaction advisors. If I remember correctly, we've actually appointed about 7 people on the panel, or 7 companies. That's why all 7 should have been reflected here. So depending on what the needs of the municipality are at the time, from the panel we can then select a service provider who is capable of doing that specific task. So none of these people have actually been appointed to a specific task at this stage. They're just available on the panel. And that is the reason why they're reflected there, but we haven't implemented any of those transaction advisors yet. I hope that answers the question. Councillor.
Are we clear, Councillor Kolwapi?
Again, I'm getting lost a bit because it says it's different services that needed to be done, like consultation of things of airport and whatever. To my understanding, can we be able to find something that says the first 3 thingy that was for Zutari Pty Limited of 1.7 million, whatever, what was the specific thing? Again, you find Sebora Minerals, 690,000, what is it? Because the item is recorded as one item of a public-private partnership and alternative funding models where they do feasibility studies. Official feasibility studies cannot include just one type of a feasibility study, including almost 3 to 6, amounts of monies that are different. But now I do hear Mr. Kharik saying the other one was for the feasibility study relating to airport. Is there any other things there was feasibility study whereby when we were given such a kind of report, we need to know exactly what were the feasibility studies for? In airport, what was the problem? In this, we talk about the whole clear report that we need to endorse in the council so that all of us, when we go out, we can be able to clarify that there was a feasibility study of this nature that goes like this, that made us to spend such an amount. I don't know whether I've heard him right saying that these things were just included, but they were not yet, this money is used. I'm sorry, for how many minutes must I talk, Alan? Only 5 minutes.
Yes, I'm just reminding it. It's not that I'm stopping you, I'm just, let me take note. Thank you. I would just like to address Councillor Kapai. His hand was immediately up after Councillor Kolwapi.
No, our speaker was suggesting that because of the recommendations were proposed, is that moreover, Councillor Kolwapi is the chairperson of MA. She will get every information there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councillor Nel, yes, I haven't recognized. No. I'm following the order that I've witnessed it.
My hand has been up.
Councillor Nel, hands been up. No. Councillor Nel?
Speaker, nothing to do with the item. It's just in terms of the smooth running of council. Firstly, I think Councillor Kolwapi, your phone is going to get flat. You've still got your battery on, your light on. And my suggestion relates to that, Speaker. These lights create a glare as well as the open window earlier this morning on the screen. Can we follow the agenda on the screens. It's going to be extremely difficult if we follow it there. If a councillor requires to go to a specific page, the administration can scroll to that particular page and it will be much more legible and it will actually help you a lot, Councillor Kolwapi, if we do that.
Speaker,
So if we can switch off these middle lights, there will be less
His 5
glare.
minutes is gone now.
I'm not speaking for 5 minutes, Speaker, and it's nothing to do with council. It's just to
Speaking for how many-
the smooth running of council. Thank
Okay,
you.
order, Speaker.
Councillor Hlana?
Speaker, on the report, I just want to raise the CFOs here that there is no column that shows us where the progress on these projects. I'm raising this because is that an order, Chief? Oh, okay. I'm raising this because I know one project in Boseshev has been abandoned by that same company, Mali projects. So if in this report there was a column so that we see whether this project has been completed or this project is in progress or this project is in, I'm just raising that comment for future purposes.
Thank you. Councillor Kamkam?
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, on page number 99, item number 24, I would like some clarity. The amount listed, is that just the extension that was granted to include the flooring? Because the description says that there was an existing contract for housing emergency materials, but it did not include flooring materials. So, and then there's obviously a bit of confusion. It speaks of decanting also, but let me leave that part. I want to know whether this amount listed is was it just for to include the flooring in the extension of the contract? Thank you.
CFO?
My mic is not working. Councillor Kamran is correct. The amount was requested to do the flooring by the
So this amount, 1.4 odd million, was just for the flooring of the 85 shakes. Is that what we are saying?
I'm not so sure the number of shacks which ones but only for flooring.
It states there a total of 85 families.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, CFO.
Thank you. Executive Mayor, then Councillor Botha.
Thank you, Speaker. I just want to go back to Councillor Kawapi's question regarding the tender awarded and just some clarity. These are tenders that are awarded, but are not necessarily money that has been spent. So from what I understand is it's a tender that's been awarded if we need to use those services. So we won't know what services we're going to be using until we actually need to use the services. So these are just provisions that are there that if we do need to use it, we don't have to go through a tender process to do it and to shorten our timelines. So if I'm correct, I think that's what this particular report deals with, just tenders that have been awarded that are there to be used if necessary.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. Councillor Botha.
I'm just looking for clarity on page 93, item number 19 on the insurances.
Page 93.
Page 93, item number 19. The amount listed there is at 9.7 million. However, when you scroll down to when you scroll down further, where you see the tenders themselves, those there are listed as 3.3 or 3.2. So I just want clarity onto how the value of 9.7 was arrived at.
Wait, it's point 19.
Yeah, point 19, management of the short-term insurance.
CFO?
Thanks, Speaker. Which page, other page are you referring to?
So then if you contra it to page 114,
114.
yeah.
Speaker, can I propose?
There's CFO is still busy. Just hold on.
114.
I want to assist him.
Councillor, one clarity.
Point 19, if you look at the three bidders, they were bidding for values of 3.2, 3.26, and then further down, you'll see there was another bid for 3.3. So I'm just querying what was done to arrive at the 9.7 in the bid award.
CFO?
Thanks, Speaker. If you multiply the 2.2 by 3, because we appoint the service provider for short-term insurance for 3 years, it goes to 9.7.
Okay.
Speaker.
Councillor, I think that, is it clear?
Just hang on, please. I think if you can just check the maths then, as it wouldn't necessarily be 9.717. And then I find it clear, but the maths just needs to be checked.
There are also issues of escalation in between the others that are taken care of. The details on the actual document, the bid document.
Okay, thank you.
With no further, we had a proposal then from Councillor Nyal. Councillor Mhlana?
I want to second the proposal of Councillor Nell, and some of the issues, the MPEC committees must deal with those issues there from the MPEC. Thanks.
Seconded by Councillor Mhlana. Thank you.
We're moving over to item C/2/15/12/21, report on the implementation of the supply chain management policy for the first quarter, 1 July to 30 September 2021, page 133 to 167.
You would find the item on page 133 to 167. Item now serving. Councillor Nyal?
I propose that we take note of this item, Speaker.
There's a proposal from Councillor Nyal that we take note. Councillor Botha?
Sorry, yes, there just is a typo on page 137 under 4.3.
Page 137.
Yeah, page 137 under 4.3 in the heading.
Further up.
It should read first quarter 2021/22. If that can just be corrected as the template going forward.
Amen. Are you on page 137?
Sorry, did I make myself, would you like further clarity? So if in the description we've got the heading, it says first quarter, that should be 2021/2022, as we're now in the 2021/22 year. That's correct.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Botha. Can we then, we have a proposer? Councillor Kolwape?
I wanted to have a clear clarity because it said the schedule compares the results with that of previous financial year as well as the year to date as follows. So if we talk about previous year and the first quarter, if you can remember, mostly our end of the year ends at the first quarter on March. So I think maybe first quarter is right to say 20 20/21. But then the fourth quarter is supposed to say 2021/2022, if I'm right.
Executive Mayor.
Thank you, Speaker. The fourth quarter relates to the last financial year, which ended in June. So that would be the 2021 financial year. We now are actually in the second quarter at the moment, but that first quarter figure represents from July to September. So Councillor Botha is correct that should read first quarter 2021/2022, because that's the financial year that we're in at the moment. Yeah, remember our year runs from July to June. So first quarter is July to September, and the last quarter is April to June. Previous year.
What is the previous financial year?
Previous financial year was 2021.
What in 2021?
Yeah.
The previous financial year is 2020. We are on 2021.
I know.
Then moving to 2022.
That's right. So,
but you can't say 2021 is previous. You can't.
2020-2021 is previous because it runs to June. That financial year is finished. We're now in the financial year 21 to 22, and that's what Councillor Botha pointed out, that first quarter should read first quarter 2021/2022.
I didn't feel it for the financiers.
Councillor Nel proposed. Thank you, Councillor Botha, for that.
Kalok, it should not be only for financiers. It's supposed to be for all of us, the same understanding, because it's what we need to explain when we talk about quarters, previous year, and the year where it includes, so that all of us, we've got same understanding.
Thank you.
If we need to be trained.
The CFO is here. Yeah. What is this?
CFO, your hand was up.
The financial year for the municipality is not the same as the other spheres of government. We are in the local sphere. The local sphere runs from 1st June, not 1st July to 30th June. And then the provincial and national sphere runs from the 1st of April to the 1st of March. Yes. And then what do you mean by the first quarter? When you say the first quarter of the financial year, you mean from July to September. That's the first quarter. The last quarter is between April to June. The meaning of the financial year. So we always tell, because last year started in June. To say the first quarter of the financial year 2021 was, we got the portion of 2020, which is the half of 2020, and the half of 2021. That makes it 2021. And then for this financial year, it should be for this first quarter. Hence I accepted the title. It should be 2021-2022 because of the first half of the quarter.
Thank you very much, CFO. With that, then we had a proposal from Councillor Nel. Councillor Kamkam.
Seconded, Speaker.
Seconded by Councillor Kamkam.
We're moving to item C/2/16/12/21, outstanding debt report, October 2021, page 168 to 179.
Page 168 to 179. Item now serving. Councillor Nel.
I propose that we take note of the speaker because there are more coming with grave concern, that we take note of.
Seconded.
I haven't recognized Councillor. My head was still down and then you. But you can continue, Councillor Mhlana.
I I second Councillor.
Was seconded by Councillor Mhlana. Councillor Kamkam, your hand was up?
Yes, Speaker. Speaker, I'm looking at page number 178, where it listed under point number 12. It says the potential problems that is hampering the debt collection. Number 2, it speaks to the meters, sorry, that cannot be read due to inaccessibility and slow pace of uncovering of meters. That's point number 2. I would like to know what exactly is the problem with the meter reading, because we have been hearing for a very long time in council now that there is a problem with it, and the meters are not being read properly. We've got wrong readings, we've got issues of meters that cannot be found. And how does that actually affect us? Because it seems like we're using a flat rate and we are basically just billing people a standard rate. So in my mind, I would like to know, that's number 1, what exactly is the problem, and do we have plans in place to actually speak to that problem so that we can address that issue, because we know our debt collection rate is concerning. The second issue, Speaker, that I have is the slow pace of indigent approvals. Now, this has been coming for a very long time, and I do think it's totally unfair that every year, financial year, we go out to the communities, they come and they fill in the indigent forms, and when it comes to the approval, we see this slow pace. It's not acceptable. Even for myself as a ward councillor, I cannot tell you when was the last time I have received indigent form for this financial, for the current financial year. So, Speaker, can I please just ask this through you, what is this, why is there such a slow pace in the indigent approvals? Thank you.
Thank you.
Speaker, on a point of order, you see, Speaker, we had a problem here last time. And the problem is that this, like for instance now, Councillor Bill moved for this and I second. And now you are opening up a debate which is totally different to this. And when we have, when we have to take a resolution here, there will be double resolutions because this matter has been dealt with. Now she's opening up, open and closed. Now she's opening up totally something different of indigent.
Councillor Mhlana, if you would just have allowed, I would have said that we move on. We have seconded and that we would close, but we take note and then we would move on. Councillor Kabayo, your hand was up.
Speaker, you entertained her, and moreover, she needs to be schooled as a councillor, you see, and understand why these challenges. The meter readers inside houses, that's the first one.
Sorry, Speaker.
I'm raising
Speaker,
an issue.
we've just heard that the item has been closed.
I wanted to school her about the challenges. Anyway, I'll leave it there. She doesn't know. She had 10 years in
We
this
need
council.
action, Councillor Kabai. We need
We had a
action.
proposer and we had a seconder. Thank you very much. Councillor Mhlana, we're off. Thank you.
Speaker, Councillor Mhlana has just called me the princess of the DA. Have you heard that?
I withdraw that.
Thank you very much.
Councillor, I would just like to also say there's a continuous effort from your side that you deliberately speak and undermine other councillors or raise things. It's been oncoming now. I understand from time to time we just like to have a but it's continuously going on. Thank you. Can we move on? Thank you.
We're on item C/2/17/12/21, section 71, report for the month 30 September 2021, page 180 to page 199.
Page 180 till 199. It's on screen. Item now serving. Councillor Nel.
Speaker, I propose that we go with the recommendation and take note of the report.
There's a proposal from Councillor Nel. Councillor?
Seconded, Speaker.
Seconded by Councillor. Thank you. Closed.
Item C, stroke 2, stroke 18, stroke 12, stroke 21, section 71 report for the month 31 October 2021, page 200 to 209.
We are on page 200. It's on screen. Item now serving. Councillor Nel.
Speaker, I propose that we take note of this report, Speaker, but if one analyzes this report, it is of extreme concern. If we look at the financial position of this municipality that we've been left with. So I propose we take note of the report, but we're going to
Proposed by Councillor Nel that we take note. Councillor Kamkam.
Seconded, Speaker.
Seconded by Councillor Kamkam. Thank you.
Item C, stroke 2, stroke 19, stroke 12, stroke 21, list of withdrawals from the municipal bank account for the quarter ended 30 September 2021, page 220 to 225.
Thank you. You would find the item on page 220 till 225. Item now serving. Councillor Nel.
Speaker, I propose that we take note of the report.
There's a proposal from Councillor Nel.
Seconded, Speaker.
Seconded by Councillor Busakwe. Thank you.
Item C, stroke 2, stroke 20, stroke 12, stroke 21, section 52 report for the quarter ending 30 September 2021, page 226 to 253.
Thank you. We are on page 226 till 253. Item now serving. Councillor Tabai.
Go with the recommendation.
Councillor Mhlana.
I know at times you don't see me, I second.
Proposed by Councillor Tabai, seconded by Councillor Mhlana. This time I have seen him. Thank you.
Very much excited that you can pronounce my surname.
I continuously to practice. Oh, I'm just waiting for
You practice it also at night.
Councillor Manaba. Councillor Manaba. Thank you, thank you. The last time it was that I said I got the other two councillors right, then I went from Mr. Mhlaba to Mr. Mlana. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Vilderman.
Moving to item C, stroke 2, stroke 21, stroke 12, stroke 21, cost containment report for the quarter ending 30 September 2021, page 254 to page 256.
Thank you. Item serving. Councillor Tabai.
Can you speak? Take note of the report.
We have a from Councillor Tabai. Councillor Nel.
Seconded.
Seconded by Councillor Nel.
Item C, stroke 2, stroke 22, stroke 12, stroke 21, Wyman report for the quarter ending 30 September 2021, page 257 to 258.
Thank you. Item now serving. Councillor Olivier.
Take note.
I'll second that, Speaker.
Proposed by Councillor Olivier, then Councillor Nel. Thank you.
Item C, stroke 2, stroke 23, stroke 12, stroke 21, report on unauthorized expenditure 2021 to 2022, page 259 to 264.
Page 259 to page 264. Item serving. Councillor Nel.
Speaker, I propose that we take note of this with severe concern and that matters be referred to MPAC.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Councillor Nel. There's a proposal. Executive Mayor.
Second, Speaker.
Seconded by the Executive Mayor.
Item C/2/24/12/21, appointment of Valuation Appeal Board, November 2021, page 265 to 267.
Page 265 to page 267. Item is now serving. Councillor Nel.
I go with the recommendation, Speaker.
Councillor Mhlana.
Yeah, I just wanted a clarity, Speaker, on what is this appeal board about? The acting municipal manager, maybe you can take us through.
CFO, would you like to answer or do you want me to do so?
CFO. CFO is.
It's a legislative requirement according to Municipal Property Rates Act. The municipality should always establish an independent board to review all the arguments or objections that have been submitted to them. Because the municipality cannot review their own work. The appeal board is there to look at all those appeals according to the Municipal Property Rates Act and the regulations that is applied to. For us, when we do the general valuation every year, every 4 years we do a general valuation, any person that is objecting on the property value for their property, they need to send it. They need to send the municipality, and the municipality forward it to the appeal board to look at the merits of the case. They look at the market value and other issues. Hence, we assisted because we employ because we. The other issue that in relation to that one is the supplementary valuations that we do every year after the general valuation, which is called SP, the supplementary valuation number 1 for next for the year 1, for the year 2. Those people will be looking for especially for those appeals that will be coming and objections that will come that the municipality cannot handle themselves. It's an independent panel. The CVs were submitted to the municipality. And it was first through public notice.
Thank you.
Taking from what CFO has explained, is there no one who observes as much that the municipal should not be the same person evaluating themselves, but is there anyone who observes when this panel sits and see this thing, and also including the previously disadvantaged people into this, because into your rates and properties, it needs to include all the people from the areas.
We rely only on the interpret of these people because, for instance, Perino Pando is a lawyer, and Gail Adams is a valuer, and also Gilbert Adams is an associate valuer, and all these people we rely mostly on the interpret of the they must do they must adjudicate independently for that's how it is. I think the
Councillor, if I might just if you do, sorry, excuse me, Councillor, if you do make an objection, you actually do have the right to appear and motivate your objection before the valuation board. It's always been like that. The current board ended at the end of September, and Province sent through a reminder saying we need to get the new board constituted, hence the item being on the agenda. So it's where you're affected in terms of your property valuation and you object to the value of your property. Because the value of your property determines the amount of rates that you pay on your account. So if you object to that, you can put an objection into that and they can hear that objection. So it concerns the person that has an objection specifically. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Tsapai.
Speaker, looking at the members or the panel that is recommended here, one question, how were they selected? Yeah, the criteria, how were they selected?
Yes, thank you. I also wanted to raise this because if you would see on page 267, it says a maximum of 2 and a maximum of 4. I would also like to know, because I see 4 names, so from my side, so I would also like to clarity on that. Thank you.
Thanks, Speaker. The way all these people that we selected based on their qualification and their expertise, because we need financial expertise on that panel. For that, we need a legal person that will look at the legal background and the value that will look at the market analysis, because the market analysis is being done by other valuers that have to go and present. Also, the issue of proximity, because other people were coming from, we look at the people that are around Western Cape for proximity for cost saving mechanism. Because if you find people from, we hire people from Pretoria, you might find people that are coming from Pretoria, you'll charge us a high cost than the people that are here. The issue of proximity, we need to help to find which page can you refer to?
Page 267.
267 CFO, that was the advert that was placed out.
So we opted for the 4. Now I just wanted, because it says position a minimum of 2 and a maximum of 4. So I see we opted that we for the maximum of 4.
Yes.
Okay.
You opted for.
Okay.
The reason why you opted for, we always have to have that product so that you can see. Don't postpone.
Thank you. Thank you, CFO. Councillor Mhlana, are you fine? Thank you. Just want to make sure we had a proposer. We're looking for a seconder. Councillor Ndai, are you okay? Okay. Seconded by Councillor Mhlana.
Moving over to section 3, corporate services. First item C, stroke 3, stroke 22, stroke 12, stroke 21, establishment of portfolio committees, between brackets, section 80 committees, page 269 to 277.
Page 269 to 277. Item is now serving. Executive Mayor?
I'll go through recommendation of the municipal manager.
We have a Executive Mayor that we go with the recommendations. Councillor Olafir?
I second that, Speaker.
Seconded by Councillor Olafir. Thank you.
There is an addendum in this section, addendum 1. It is item number C, stroke 3, stroke 23, stroke 12, stroke 21, closure of municipal offices between Christmas and New Year 2021 to 2022. Addendum will now be screened, page 1 and 2.
The addendum is on screen. Councillor Kolwapi?
I recommend we accept the recommendation of acting MM, whereas there's just a point I want us to rectify the dates. I think it's bullet E at page 3, bullet E, that all employees who agree to the closure of their respective divisions/branches working days, the dates there, as they go simultaneously till December. It's supposed to be December 2021,
21.
not 2020. But
Can you just
I
correct?
propose that we accept the recommendations.
Thank you, Councillor Kolwapi. Can we just make sure that the date is correct there? Councillor Kolwapi recommended that we go with the recommendations. Councillor Nell?
I will second that.
Seconded by Councillor Nell. Thank you.
Move over to section 4, community services. First item is C/4/02/12/21, draft seasonal plan 2021/2022, community services, page 279 to 340.
We are on page 279, item now serving. Councillor Olafir, I saw your hand is up.
Councillor, sorry, Speaker. On page 287 on the report, the ward is incorrect there, Ward 7. It's not part of Kwanakatula. So they just need to make a correction, please, Speaker.
Councillor Olafir?
Did you hear me? 287?
Yes, I'm on 287.
Okay, there's a ward demarcation. They have, I think it's a mistake from the administrative side.
Ward 7, part of Kwanakatula.
Part of, Ward 7 is not part of Kwanakatula. That needs to be rectified. It's just all that I'm pointing out there. Thank you.
Take note. Executive Mayor?
Thank you, Speaker. One of the things that I'm noting on this report in terms of the emergency services and services being provided by law enforcement is that for the third year now, probably we don't have a trailer for the boat that was actually gifted to the municipality. And as things stand now at the moment, there will not be any patrols on the river in the peak season to monitor what other boat users are doing. So it's a concern that although the trailer has been on the budget previously, it's been removed, and we now sit in a situation where we cannot provide the service because for some reason the budget was removed and the trailer was never procured. So I'd like to stress that we need to have this resolved as soon as we can. We're probably not going to do it for this year, but certainly for next year, that we have money put aside for a trailer for the boats that we can actually offer the service that we should be offering. Thank you.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. We have a post that from Councillor Olafir. Councillor Botha, seconded by Councillor Botha. Thank you.
We're moving to item C/4/03/12/21, report on status of public safety fleet, November 2021. Public safety, fire and rescue, traffic services, law enforcement and disaster management, page 341 to 349.
Thank you, Ms. Item now serving. Councillor Nell.
Speaker, we had an incident where we had two of our law enforcement vehicles colliding in the early hours of the morning. And I don't think Council has had any feedback yet as to what the position of the situation is around those vehicles. May I just ask if there are officials present who can explain this to us?
Can you just...
Sorry, Speaker, am I audible now? Yes. Okay, thank you. I think the microphone is a little bit far away from me. Speaker, we have had reports of an accident during the early hours of the morning between two municipal law enforcement vehicles. I would like to know what the status is with those vehicles. Are they usable? Are they repairable? What is the situation? What happened?
Thank you. Mr. Sakati, have you heard the question? Just make sure.
Both vehicles are right now speaker, we can't use them. Currently, we are in the process of clearing 2 vehicles for us until the insurance is replacing the 2 vehicles that are damaged.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. It does concern, though, that these accidents take place during the early hours of the morning when there's hardly any traffic. Are the reasons known for what took place there? May I ask Mr.
Speaker, Order, Speaker.
Order, Speaker. Councillor Tapai.
Speaker, what Councillor Nell is saying is not here. And moreover, he's an executive. He will be getting more info in his acquiring of information. We must stop this nonsense, Speaker. Because this is an item and whatever he is saying, it's not here. No, we can't allow that, man. We are not in a bush here.
Thank you.
Speaker, I hope Councillor Gabai keeps that in mind in future, because he is the crown prince of doing exactly that.
Can we focus on the item before us, councillors?
If you are saying I'm a crown prince, you are making me great.
We are on an item. Executive Mayor?
Thank you, Speaker. I'd like to go with the recommendation.
Councillor Mhlana?
I second Executive Mayor.
Seconded by Councillor Mhlana. Thank you.
We're moving to item C, stroke 4, stroke 04, stroke 12, stroke 21. Progress report. However, Koleni 169, phase 3A project, page 350 to 357.
Thank you. Item now serving. Councillor Mhlana?
I go with the recommendation of the acting municipal manager.
Councillor Nyal?
I will second that, Speaker.
Proposed by Councillor Mhlana, seconded by Councillor Nyal.
We're moving over to section 5, engineering services. Councillors, please note that we've received this report this morning, therefore it has not been circulated. It will be screened now as addendum 2. The item numbers item C, stroke 5, stroke 11, stroke 12, stroke 21. Municipal infrastructure projects, MIG, revision of detailed project implementation plan between brackets DPIP. It is annexure 2.
Thank you. Item serving. It is Can we Is it all clear on screen for all councillors? Do you want it a bit bigger? Thank you. Mr. Roda?
Chair, can I introduce the item and maybe make it easier? I just want to apologize, but this was forced on by us by sort of external factors. So what has happened here, Chair, we get money, we get funding from MIG, and MIG gives you a certain amount of funding to do certain projects. This year, we were not fully committed because we were waiting on province for the most time to get one project, and that is a clear water pump station. To get that, what we called registered. So you go to a committee, you present the project, and they give comments on it, and we accept the project, and it carries on. So this one is still, even till today, is still outstanding. But there's 4 million committed to the project. So the moment they give approval, we can run with it. But now we have run out of time because of province not coming to the party on that one. So as to make our MIG work, we proposing in this item to move some of those funding to the Ebenezer project, which are again looking for funding, and each funding only become available next year, and the East challenge to the Ebenezer project. So what will happen here now is we will become fully committed. In fact, our expenditure is going to go through the ceiling, and that's an accolade by the end of this month. And we also stand a chance of, when you spend more than 70% normally, stand a chance of getting more funding. And we were going to reach, with this one, we're going to reach about 80%. So we get a chance, we have an opportunity to get more funding, and that we can again pump back into the Ebenezer project, which will be delivered faster. So it's just a moving of chairs on the deck, for one thing better word. No increase in funding or no reduction in funding. It's moving money around to make our MIG performance outstanding, for one thing better word.
Thank you, Mr. Roda. Councillor Mhlana?
Yeah, thanks. Can you go down, please, again? Down to where there's Bosesgraf and Kolweni.
Just scroll down to the figures again.
Down, please. Up, is it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Rode, is that 1.4 million for this current financial year, or it's what we are budgeting for in the upcoming financial year? The Bosesgraf Kolweni upgrading of sports field facility.
The Bosesgraf project is a now project, and the same council has raised earlier that Mali project is the one that got the project, but they have now abandoned site. So they've moved off of the Bosesgraf project, and it's now standing. So what we are doing now, we are getting some of your panel of contractors. You've heard it earlier, like my colleague has done here. He introduced a panel of consultants. We've got panels of contractors which we can now call upon to complete the work that Malip is doing, but we should have done. But Malip will also be taken to task in terms of the contract that we have with him, to make good what they have now failed to do. So what happens in these circumstances, the contract law kicks in, GCC, and they will make good if there's any losses that council will incur as a result of them pulling off site. But that is this year. We were intended to complete the project this year.
Mr. Roda, Councillor Mhlana, are you clear?
No, fine.
Thank you, Councillor Mhlana. Councillor Olivier?
Speaker, of course, it's with concern that I'm noting on this late item that money has been moved away from Kranshoek's gravel roads, and as you know, those are the issues in our community. I didn't hear Mr. Rueda clearly. It could be the sound. Did Mr. Rueda say that money that job will be moved to a later date, or is the money going to be moved away completely? I need to understand how we're going to work around that allocation.
So in terms of the Kranshoek project, Speaker, we're gonna complete the project, and there's savings on the fund on the job. So when you save on a MIG project and you don't spend it, you get punished for it. You can rather move it to another MIG project and use it there, and this is what we're doing here. So we're moving the savings that we can get, all the little bits of savings, moving it to Ebenezer, spend Ebenezer Klaar, and everybody will be back.
But I'm still not hearing, are the roads going to be graded? I'm still not hearing that.
Graded.
Are you still going to be grading the gravel roads in Kranshoek?
Yeah, that's an ongoing project, so that's maintenance.
Thank you, Mr. Roda. The item is still open.
Speaker, I go with the recommendation.
Councillor, I think the executive mayor proposed that and then we need a seconder. The executive mayor proposed.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councillor Nel.
We're moving over to section 6, economic development and planning, item C/6/09/12/21, seasonal plans, events 2021 to 2022, page 359 to 365.
Page 359, item now serving. Councillor Tabai.
Speaker, one question on this calendar of events on page 360. There is a good luck New Year Eve event at Bitou Rugby Field on the 31st of December. I really want to know what is it for? Good luck. What is it for?
Who's living?
What is it for?
We're gonna, there's a question on the floor for good luck. Mr. Gericke?
Mr. Speaker, can I ask Leslie Jacobs, the Manager Economic Development, to respond to the question? He is linked virtually with us. If I can ask Leslie to respond, please.
Good luck, New Year.
Thank you. Mr. Jacobs, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Thank you, Speaker. Morning, councillors. Morning, colleagues.
Just hold on. This, we can't hear you properly, Mr. Jacobs.
Is that better?
Can you get it a bit
Speaker?
louder?
Speaker, I'm trying my best here. Am I audible?
You are not.
You are not.
Am I not?
We are maxed out on our volume. We can't hear you, Mr. Jacobs.
I'm going to see what I can do with my computer.
Who's good luck?
Is this better?
No, we can't hear you properly, Mr. Jacobs.
Can I text the answer to Mr. Gericke and then he can then communicate to the council?
Continue speaking. We will try to.
Okay, the good luck event is a good luck summer event. It's a company that has annual events on the Bitou Rugby Field. It's a normal music festival. However, this item was done on the 9th of December, and subsequently, with the cancellation of the rage, they have also decided to cancel the event. So this item will not continue. Speaker, that event will not continue. I hope you heard that.
Mr. Jacobs, we couldn't hear you properly on around who is doing the good luck. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
We would just like to know who is doing it from Councillor Tabai.
Good Luck Summer is an events company. That's the name of the company, Good Luck.
Yes.
And the event is a normal music festival. Can you hear me, Speaker?
Thank you, Mr. Jacobs. Councillor Tabai, the name of the company is Good Luck. So are you satisfied with the response?
The name of the company is Good Luck. then answer, because you know. But it's written here. It's written here.
Didn't you hear the event?
No, he's not audible. That is why I'm saying, Councillor, come explain. That is why I'm saying so.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jacobs. Executive Mayor.
Thank you, Speaker. I think what Councillor Gabai is probably trying to determine is if the municipality is funding it or if it's a privately funded company. It's, from what I understand, it's a private company. It's not any funding from the municipality at all.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. Councillor Nell.
Thank you, Speaker. With that contract having been cancelled, I propose that we go with the recommendation and carry on, Speaker.
Okay. There's a proposal from Councillor Nell. Councillor Kolwapi, your hands up.
I wanted to know how many events are cancelled there so that for us to know, because it's another thing for us to come and read Good Luck NYE, but it's cancelled. It was supposed to be indicated to us when we delivered this. How many events are cancelled, and also how many events are being funded by the municipality, alluding to what executive have asked? And thirdly, why do we have 2 events included there? Festival of Lights, Main Street, 16th December, Festival of Lights, Main Road, 16th of December. Can we get clarity, or can we told which are not going to take place?
Do you mind to respond?
Councillor Wilson.
Let's just give to Councillor Mhlana first.
Yeah, maybe, yes. Thanks, Speaker. I just want to know, man, in terms of COVID regulations, are we going to be, as the council, are we going to be the one liable on whatever takes place in these events in terms of regulations, if we approve them today? I know there's one event by us, which is the 16th of December. I don't know the other ones like Blood Boom and Trans Agalas, all those things. Are we going to be liable for anything that happens in these events in terms of COVID-19 regulations?
There's a Mr. Gericke?
Mr. Speaker, I think there's 2 questions there. The first question was, which events are going to be cancelled? The problem with these events is they are sometimes cancelled at a very short notice because of COVID. We don't know yet. There may be a change in the COVID status, and then maybe all these events are going to disappear. But the list in front of Council is as it was at the time when the report was written. The 2 Festival of Lights, that is just a typing error. Apologies for that. It's the same event that was just recorded twice. In terms of spending by the council, it is only the Festival of Lights, the one that the mayor referred to earlier on, where the council is responsible for the funding. We're not funding any of the others of these events. They're all private events. In terms of responsibility, the events committee makes sure that when the applications are made, that all the COVID protocols are in place. All the legal requirements are complied with. But if something does go wrong, then the onus is on the events organizer and not on the municipality. So we do what we can as far as we practically can, but if there is a problem at the later stage, it goes back to the event organizer.
Thank you, Mr. Gericke. Are you fine? The item is still, we had a proposer. Executive Mayor?
My second, Speaker.
We are done with the items, sir.
Thank you. We go back to our. Can we get it on order of business on screen, please? We are on point 11. Urgent matters submitted by the municipal manager.
None on my side, thank you. And thank you, Council, for considering the report of Mr. Roda. It will make life substantially easier for his department and also to ensure continuity of the project. Thank you.
Thank you. We then move on to point 12, consideration of notice of motion. None received. Point 13, consideration of notices of questions. 13.1. Notice of questions received from Councillor S.E. Kabai dated 8 December 2021 in terms of Section 37, read with Section 41 of the Rules of Order for submission to the ordinary council meeting to be held on the 15th of December 2021. MM, can you? You want to be excused?
Yes, please.
Because of the MM's. Thank you. Executive Mayor, well then, it is on page 364. Where do I start here? Okay. Do I read it?
I'm waiting for you.
Okay. On 8.
Speaker, can I propose that you give Councillor Gabai an opportunity to read the motion into the record?
There's a proposal that we allow Councillor Kapai to.
Order, Speaker.
Councillor Kapai, do you want to? Councillor Kapai, your hand was up first, then Councillor Mangaba.
Yes, Speaker, I was going to raise an order that you allow Councillor Nell to speak willy-nilly and you keep quiet. And that is wrong, Speaker. We must all the time tell you when things are wrong. And Councillor Nell is repeating this and he is doing it by force. It can't be, Speaker. You must not allow Councillor Nell to think he owns this council.
Councillor?
Allow me to reiterate, Speaker, so that it doesn't happen again. I was just about to raise that order as well. Because for starters, you are the Speaker. You are supposed to be chairing this meeting. Now, for some odd reason, it happens. It's a regular occurrence that he takes over whenever he feels like it, and you allow him.
Thank you. Thank you. Would you?
Thank you, Speaker. Let me introduce my motion of questions. Speaker, this notice of questions in terms of Section 37, read with Section 41 of the Rules of Order for submission to the ordinary council meeting to be held, that is today. We wrote this motion on time because we respect the rules of order, unlike others. In terms of Section 37, Speaker, of the Rules of Order, I, Councillor Kabai, hereby submit notice of question as follows. Speaker, we understand that the Executive Mayor, Councillor Swartz, bought an acting municipal manager without following a due process outlined in the legislation, and have also interfered with administration by continuously sending written instructions claiming to use the powers vested unto him by legislation of the Bitou Council. The questions, Speaker, are directed to the Executive Mayor to enlighten us on the above issues. The first question, Speaker, as they are following each other. I don't know whether, Speaker, I'm going to read these questions, he answer, or what. I must get clarity. so that I can read one question here, because these questions are really unto him, not anybody. It's just a clarity.
Executive Mayor, on a matter of clarity around what the council has raised.
Thank you, Speaker. The process is normally that the councillor would read the motion into the record, and we would deal with it then.
Right. The first question, Speaker, is the resigned municipal manager advocate Lonwabo Ngoko is still on the Bitou payroll for the month of December 2021, serving his notice in terms of his employment contract. That's the question. Is still Lonwabo Ngoko still on the payroll of the Bitou municipality? The second question, was the resignation of the then municipal manager, advocate Ngoko, tabled to council for the acceptance of the resignation? If yes, please provide a council resolution to that effect. The third question, is the acting municipal manager, Mr. Richard Bosman, appointed by council or seconded by the provincial government? The fourth question, what was the process followed in the appointment or secondment of Mr. Bosman, and which applicable legislation was followed? The fifth question, is it correct that the qualifications or CV of Mr. Bosman was not tabled to council or in council for consideration and was only considered by the DA caucus? The sixth question, if so, what legislation gives sole powers to a political party to recruit and appoint a municipal manager? And what capacity does the DA caucus possess to undertake such a responsibility? 7, can council afford to pay 2 salaries to 2 municipal managers who are employed by Bitou municipality, considering the state of finance of Bitou municipality? 8, is the executive mayor empowered to stop disciplinary processes in order to re-employ a so-called lawyer that was found unethical by the Law Society and his practice license being suspended for indefinite period? So-called Alan Krauss was also found guilty of maladministration during his tenure at Bitou municipality. The last question, is the executive mayor empowered to instruct the administration to stop payments for the services rendered by service providers as evident in his letter to the resigned municipal manager? Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Kapai. Executive Mayor.
Thank you, Speaker. Now the council has read it into his record. I'll respond to these at the next council meeting. We need to table that. I also did request earlier if I could be excused at 10:15, but I've stayed longer just to allow Councillor Gabai to read it in, because I have a Western Cape government meeting starting at 10 o'clock, and I'd like permission to be excused to attend that meeting.
Just on the first one, Councillor Kabai, the Executive Mayor will respond.
We will be waiting.
Thank you, Councillor Kabai. Then there was a request from the Executive Mayor to attend. Granted, the Executive Mayor. Thank you very much. On that,
So tell the MM to come back.
yes, just come back. Councillor Nella, I saw your hands up.
May I just ask clarity? I know that the MM recused himself because he was involved in the motion. But is he coming back, or is he going with Councillor Slot?
No, he's coming back. He's coming back.
Okay,
thank you. Thank you, councillors. We then move on to point 14, consideration of motions of exigencies. None received. Thank you, which then,
Sorry, Mr. Speaker, can we just have a proposal and a second on the motion of questions, please?
Councillor Nell?
Speaker, I propose that the matter be postponed until the next meeting when the Mayor will offer his answers.
Councillor Olaf, proposed by Councillor Nell. Councillor Olivier?
I second the mayor's proposal.
Seconded by Councillor Olivier. So with that then, we will move on to point 15. Thank you very much. We will then, in committee matters. Thank you very much to everybody that attended this morning's session. We will now going into in committee matters.